Welcome back. I'm back with more manga, and I actually might have more on the way, so I'll probably film those if they get here before I finish editing this video. So everything you see here may not be everything you see in this video. But yeah, Crunchyroll continued to have some sales, and I found some stuff after I had made my last video, as well as some local finds. I went to Half Price Books and some other stores and picked up a few things. So it's mainly manga, as you can see, but I do have some anime acquisitions. So I'll start with those since there's not too many of them. So Crunchyroll did have, was it Crunchyroll? I think so. Did have this series on sale. I think I have the opening theme song to this series, but I never got around to watching it. It is on my list though, and normally I've been doing this a lot recently where I'm buying a series that I've never watched. Normally I would not do that because I really wanted to limit what I'm buying to things that I really love due to space, but with a lot of stuff going out of print nowadays, I'm really scared that if I don't get something and it goes out of print, I'll be really out of luck basically, because resellers are really on the ball right now, and as soon as something goes out of print, I feel like they prepare and buy up everything in the secondhand market so that when it does go out of print, they hijack the prices so high, obviously to make a profit, but that means we're paying $50+ for a series that used to be like $12, and I refuse to do that, especially for this one. I've heard very good things about it. This is Acca. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. 13 Territory Inspection Department. It's set in a fantasy series. The style is very unique, as you can see. But yeah, it's about a secret organization, or maybe not secret, it just seems like it's based on an organization, kind of like a cop show probably. I've heard good things, and when I watched the trailer back when it first aired, I was interested in watching it, but I just never got around to it, so I'm at least happy to have it, so I don't have to worry about trying to get it later. And like I said, the opening theme song was really catchy from what I remember. And that's kind of what got me interested in acquiring it before it went out of print. Oh, this was dubbed, thank goodness. A lot of stuff that Funimation released towards the end before being acquired by Crunchyroll was not dubbed, so I'm at least glad this was. So that tells me that they believed in it enough to dub it, which is good. Next, and yeah, this was cheap. This was like, I think, maybe I paid like $15 for it. I don't remember. But cheap enough for me to get. Next, the Berserk original series also went on sale. Or did I finish it? I don't remember, honestly. Series that I saw in the very beginning, I forget a lot about. I used to be able to remember if I saw the whole thing. But nowadays, there's so much I've seen that I just don't remember. So this is a nice acquisition to at least rewatch it. Berserk is obviously a very well-known series. Oh, this is interesting. So this is the steelbook release, but it has a plastic sleeve to protect it. It's hard to get out though. There we go. Okay. So it comes with a plastic sleeve, which is very interesting. I've not seen that with steelbooks. At least the ones I've gotten. Maybe they're a thing, but I didn't know they were. Here's the steelbook. It's very cool. So this is the original 1997 TV series, and from what I've heard, it does come with some extra stuff. Ooh, ugh, why did he have to be on the inside? I may not remember most of the story, but I do remember what he does. Terrible. Discs are perfect. Oh, but it does have this style of Blu-ray, or steelbook. I learned about this from the Witch from Mercury set, where it's really weird. To get the disc out, you really have to push from the back, or push from the front and the back. Otherwise, it was kind of tough to get it out, or to pop it out, and then you kind of have to slide it from under there. But yeah, perfect condition, no scratches. It is a nice steelbook, but I don't know if it's just me. I was not a steelbook collector even when I was younger. I only purchased a couple because I really liked the design of the case. But I feel like they were a little higher quality back then. This and the Witch from Mercury one just feel a little light. Like they're not actually made out of metal. I think the last steelbook I got, with the exception of like a Coraline movie that I purchased, was Land of the Lustrous. And I feel like that steelbook was a little heavier. It could be just be me misremembering, but yeah. But I'm at least happy to have this. I think I still paid like $50, which is pretty high. But it is a classic. The steelbook is nice. Yeah, see, I feel like this isn't the highest quality. Like, it already has a scratch right there. It's not something I care about too much. You know, it's one of those things where you pay a lot of money for something, so you would prefer to get it in the perfect condition that they promise. And I feel like this plastic case is going to scratch it on the sides, too. It's very tight on the case. With the plastic covering, it doesn't look as impressive. So I don't know if I'm going to keep that. I might just throw that out. I don't know. It's like warped too. Maybe you're supposed to throw it out, but then otherwise, why would you print stuff on it? Very strange. I don't get it. But still happy to have it. The next two acquisitions I actually got on eBay. So the first oh no, wait, I'm lying. I did get this from Crunchyroll. It was really, really cheap. I'd actually been eyeing this for years and I just never got it because I never finished it. It's a mecha anime, hence why I was interested in it. I don't remember being too attached to it, so it probably wasn't that good when I tried to watch it. But for the price that I got this, I think it was like $10, $12. I was happy to get it. These save editions, I think, are starting to go out of print. They weren't for the longest time. They were supposed to be a budget version of the series. So I'm sure a lot were produced, but they are starting to go out of print, especially because Funimation no longer exists anymore. So whatever licenses they had under that name are probably expiring. And Crunchyroll, I don't know if you've heard the news, is seeming to cut back on certain things. So if you want something as a physical copy and it's available, you probably want to get it now. Props to Walmart though, they are releasing full anime sets. I just pre-ordered my Apothecary Diaries season 1 set from them because I hate the fact that they were only doing parts 1 and 2. I'm really hoping a Jujutsu Kaisen season 1 and season 2 set comes out from them because I do not want to have like 4 or 5 different discs on my shelf. I just don't have the space for that. But yeah, this is a mecha series. It looks very fantastical. I think this was popular back in the day, but again, I never finished it, so I can't say for sure what it was about. The main characters are students, so piloting mechas. Very typical mecha show plot, but we'll see. And next, I got Natsume's Book of Friends Season 1 and 2 from Half Price Books for $40. This is out of print, so I was really excited to see it in store. I actually already have this, but I have the premium edition. It's meant for display and a little awkward to remove from the case, so I just never reach for it. And that's the main reason I haven't rewatched this series. I think it is available on Crunchyroll, though. I don't know, honestly. But I did kind of want a Season 1 and 2 that would fit on my shelf. Because that one is just so awkward to pull out. $40 is not bad for this. Again, it's out of print. Kind of a high price if you wanted this for retail, but considering it's out of print, that's not too bad. However, I did notice, for the most part, the condition of these discs weren't bad, but the last disc did have some scratches. I did notice the last disc had some scratches. Now, I did already play this on my computer to see if the scratches were debilitating, and it did play the whole way through, but I was really surprised when I got when I actually noticed it in the store. The discs were in the case. I don't know what is up with people, because I've noticed in a lot of like full series that I look at secondhand, the final disc always tends to have the most scratches. I don't get it. Maybe they had something in the case and didn't notice, and it was scratching along the last disc for the longest time. And maybe that's why it was so cheap. Nevertheless, it does work. There's no skipping or anything, so I went ahead and bought it anyway because this is not an easy series to find. It wasn't, I think, very popular in the US, so, you know, I'll take what I can get. And I really do love that series, so I don't mind having another copy of Season 1 and 2. I really wish they'd released a Blu-ray version of it, but I'll take what I can get. So that's all of the anime. The rest of this will be manga, and be forewarned, most of it is BL, but I'll start with some of the non-BL that I do have here. Well, actually, I think it's pretty even with Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint there. So I did see volumes 3 and 4 on Crunchyroll were for a pretty heavy discount, so I went ahead and got them. So now I'm just missing volume 2. So if I want to continue this series, I'll just have to find that, or at least read it before I go to 3 and 4. Again, this seemed like a very unique, fantastical type of story, and the covers were very intriguing, so I'm willing to buy the volumes ahead of time. Trying not to spoil myself here, but again, this artwork just looks so good. Next, I believe this has an anime, but I would prefer to start with the manga because sometimes if the anime isn't good, it leaves a really bad impression. This is The Witch and the Beast by Kyosuke Satake, and this is described as a dark, stylish fairy tale for fans of Triple X Holic and Noragami. Noragami I never finished, but Triple X Holic I did, and I loved it, so that really hooked me, and the plot seemed interesting too about this couple. This woman and this man who come into a town controlled by a witch, and the art was really good too, so I'm really excited to start that. That was from Half Price Books as well. And then I found this, which was a Girls Love manga, or this might be Korean actually, called SHWD Special Hazardous Waste Disposal, and this is about a police adjacent organization whose mission is to destroy mysterious biological weapons left behind after the last war. It seems women are not typical hires for this organization, so this follows the 2 female employees, and it seemed like it was like a girls' love. Oh yeah, it is. Office romance meets buddy cops meets Yuri horror, which, come on now, that just seemed really interesting. And also a buff woman, heck yeah. I loved, oh god, I'm terrible for forgetting her name. From Dorohedoro, the really big silver-haired woman, oh my gosh, she was amazing. So excited to read that. Let's move to the BL manga. I have Fangs, Volume 2. I bought Volume 1 a while back and I did read it and it was great. Story's a little simple, but very interesting. The art style is so good, which is the main reason I wanted to keep going. But this was explicit, so I don't want to flip through too much. But it's about a guy who survives a vampire transformation after being bitten, which is a shock to a lot of people. And he gets taken care of by this other vampire guy. I really liked their relationship in the first volume, and the spicy scenes were really well drawn, so I'm excited to see how their relationship continues. I would highly recommend that one. Then I saw this on Crunchyroll, and then someone swiped up the last copy before I could get it during their sale, so I just got it on Amazon. This is Sick by Tomo Kurahashi. It was a little explicit on the back. It's about this rich kind of stuck-up guy going after the really shy, quiet guy in his class, and probably catching feelings from it. Love that. I bought this per recommendation from my friend, My Dearest Patrolman by Niyama. The art looked really good. It is sealed, which means it's when a yaoi is sold in physical stores and is sealed like this, that probably means that explicit scenes are quite explicit. They probably don't want to get in trouble from parents for if a kid stumbles upon it, because most of the time the manga tends to be all grouped together. Like they don't separate the more teen stuff from the adult stuff, which I feel like they should. I really think they should, but oh well. But yeah, this is about a man who becomes a patrolman after being inspired by another guy, but turns out that guy retired. So I'm assuming it's just gonna be him discovering that he retired and wanting to find out why, and drama ensues, or romance ensues. This one, this one is a funny story actually. This is My Adorable Betrothed by Dokuoki. I bought this to satiate curiosity because my friend and I went to Kinokuniya, and there was a description, or you know how sometimes you go to the bookstore and the bookstore employees have comments under certain titles that they've read and recommend? They had a note at the bottom that's under this one that said, would recommend if you read Yadichin Bitch Club, which is one that I own and I've read before. And we were both so curious because what does that exactly mean? Is it because it's very smutty? Is it because it's comedic? Because that one is pretty comedic. Like, we weren't exactly sure, and I just figured, you know what? Let me satiate both of our curiosities. And then my friend already read this. I haven't. According to her, it's just smut. I literally opened the book in the parking lot, and it was, first thing was just a smut scene. But the art apparently is pretty good, so I'll still read that and see if I want to keep that in my collection. Sometimes if the art is good enough, I keep it anyway, just for reference purposes. The last one I got from Half Price Books is Pretty Boy Detective Club. I never watched this anime, but I was interested in watching it. But again, I tend to prefer starting a series with the manga if there is a manga that exists, because it probably tends to be better. The story tends to be outlined better. Obviously, they have to cut things for the anime. The art style is probably 100% a lot better. So yeah, I just got this since, you know, it happened to be there. Good find. I was already interested in it anyway, and the art definitely looks better than the anime style. Oh, this might be based on a novel, because it says original story by Nishio Ishin, and the manga is by Suzuka Oda. And then the character design is by Kinako, someone else. Maybe the anime was original and this is the manga adaptation. I don't know then. We'll see. And the last few books I have is volumes 1 through 6 of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. I've been meaning to read this series for so long. I got, I think, about 4 or 5 chapters in online back when it was first releasing, and it started getting a lot of traction. But as with a lot of manga that I started reading online, the website I was using had such obnoxious ads and pop-ups, and the formatting just wasn't very intuitive or easy to go through. I got annoyed and I stopped reading because at that point the story hadn't really captured me. But now it's super popular. I see a lot of fan art for it that makes me really interested in going back to it, and it's getting an anime. So I really wanted to just read through most of it before the anime released so that I kind of had a good impression going into it. Let me double check. I could be wrong, but I think the story is about this man who reads a novel series, and at the end of it, the world ends, or it starts ending. Stuff starts going down almost immediately after he receives a notification that the last chapter of this online novel released, and then he starts getting like messages indicating he has abilities and whatnot. Yeah, I'm skimming through this, and that does look kind of like what's happening. He ends up being one of the people, if not the, according to the back, the only person that knows what's going to happen because he's read this novel. So he becomes a key point in helping fight back against this catastrophe that's occurring in the world. So basically everything that happened in the novel he read is happening in real life. Kind of the opposite of reincarnated as a princess, or type of stories like that where the main character tends to be reincarnated into a novel series or a game that they had already played or read, and they have to play through trying to fight against the plot, because usually they get reincarnated as the villain, and obviously the villain tends to die in those stories. But this is the opposite, where the stuff happening in the novel happens to them in real life, so they have to fight back. But yeah, very interesting story. First few pages are quite actiony, a lot of stuff going on, having to save people with his knowledge. I think I actually read the first volume from what I'm seeing, because I do remember a lot of this. So maybe I didn't have to buy volume 1, because only volume 2 to 6 were on sale on Crunchyroll. I got volume 1 from Amazon. But it's okay. It makes it easier if I don't enjoy the series to sell it back as a full set. I forgot to show you all the covers. Here's volume 1, volume 2. This reminds me of Solo Leveling, where he gets a little more, like, he starts off as really normal, and then the longer the series goes on, he looks a lot more mature and hardcore. It's really funny. But we love to see a good transformation of a main character. That's character progression. That kind of looks like a different character, but it could be the same guy. The artwork is really cool. It kind of starts off looking kind of amateurish, but in a good way. And I can see it improve as the series goes on. Neat. I shouldn't spoil myself. But that was an exciting purchase for me. finally being able to get them all at once. They were a very good price on Crunchyroll. I was right. The last thing that I ordered came in today. This is Elemental Gelade, the complete series. This is another one from my childhood that I just never finished. I discovered it, funnily enough, through the theme song. If I remember correctly, when I was younger, my sister, I think she found this magazine somewhere outside. I don't know who dropped it. It was just on the street. Either that or she got it from someone. I don't remember. But I think this magazine was the New Type magazine, which was one of the few magazines available that published information about releasing anime. I remember seeing one for Code Geass. I should have bought it. I want to say it was that magazine, and in these magazines sometimes they would include a CD, and the CD that this magazine had a bunch of anime songs in it, one of which was the theme song to this anime. I still have it in my playlist after so long, but I never finished the anime. So yes, I looked up the theme song, which was very tough at the time because I think the CD had it published in the Japanese name, so I had to copy paste a lot of stuff just to get to the actual anime. And I didn't finish it. The versions I found online were quite low quality. But this is a pirate-themed anime, sort of. It's kind of sci-fi-ish with some magic mixed in there. But it has that pirate theme. And it's got that very traditional anime plotline where main character finds a mysterious girl and she kind of kicks off the story due to her mysterious origins and all the trouble that she brings. But look at this. I found this on eBay. I think I got an okay price for it. A little over $20. That includes shipping and taxes. Because this is out of print and I haven't really found it as like a single disc box set anywhere. But look at this ancient pamphlet of all the other anime being released by this company. Oh, I remember Pony Pony Dash. Wow. Oh my gosh, Shattered Angels. I love Shin-chan. I kind of wish I'd bought that when it was still... Wow, Shonen Omyuji. That is a blast from the past. And then Shuffle. I never saw that. I think that was an ecchi. Kenichi the Mightiest Warrior. Kurao. Love Hina. I remember the manga. Everyone was looking for that one because of all the ecchi stuff in it. Fruits Basket, of course. D. Greyman. Wow. So many classics. Case closed. Darker Than Black. Wow. I love it when these sets come with the original pamphlets because you get to see a lot of neat stuff. Oh, this was Funimation. I didn't know that. It says Ginion on the back. Oh, it's both. Okay. It's got both companies on the back. I believe this is dubbed as well. But what's cool about this particular set, because I think there's two versions. There's this slim disc set, and then there's one that has full disc DVD cases in them, and I really wanted the slim disc one, obviously for space reasons. It comes with 3 separate cases. Look at the covers, very cool. It's got different art on each one. This is kind of what I miss about getting anime sets, all the really unique artwork you would get with each individual disc. Overall, I'm still going to keep this set, but I was disappointed in the quality of the discs. There's at least 2 that have scratches that were not really described in the description from the eBay seller. The way they took the picture, they had the discs sitting on the table, so the angle made it look like they weren't scratched at all. But a couple of these, not only do they look scratched, they kind of look like they have disc rot. Like, do you see that? I don't know if that's just a defect of the... And then all these smudges. I don't know if that's disc rot or if it'll wipe off. I'm hoping it'll wipe off. But it's really a shame because look at how they did releases back then. This disc is holographic. And they're all like that. You don't really get that a lot with anime releases nowadays, which is a real shame. And then there is a separate side to each case that has even more artwork in it. And then the episode names at the bottom. Just so much effort put into the release. It's a lost art, as you would say. There are still releases that put in this much effort, but they're usually just the collector level ones, and they're really expensive. It was really funny because I was backtracking through my receipts to see how much I had originally paid for the premium edition of Natsume's Book of Friends Season 1 and 2. And I probably got it on sale because I remember seeing it originally and I wasn't willing to pay the price for it. So I must have found it on sale. But I paid about $50 or $60 for that. That premium edition that comes with a full book, artwork cards, plus the discs for only $60 in that beautiful case. That would have been $100 and now that would have been $100 nowadays. Crazy. Here is the second set. It's struggling to focus. Here's the second set. Really cool. And the inside of the cases are also a little busted, so the discs keep popping out. But yeah, like this one especially has a lot of scuffs and minor scratches. This one looks pretty significant. Oh, never mind. It was just something, like some kind of fluff. It came off, which is good, but I'm sorry, did I even show you all the discs on this one? It's more or less the same artwork repeated from the cases, but it's still really cool. The discs are holographic. Let's see if I can show you all both of this one. But really cool. Look at that. And then the artwork. Again, just some repeats, but still, you get so much of it. And they include scenes from the anime up here at the top. So yes, I'm going to be very honest in my review of this eBay purchase, but I'm not going to return it or anything. I do still want it. It was the cheapest copy that I found on eBay, and I did already test the discs. They do play on my computer, so long as they play, I'm not too bothered by it. And this is such an unknown anime that I would hope I'll stumble upon it in better condition later on. It's not a super priority, so yeah, I'm happy with the price that I got it for. I think it was a good price. And I'm excited to finally finish it. I didn't even bother looking up if this was available anywhere for streaming. I think it is available on YouTube, and it is dubbed, which is nice. But, you know, it's always nice to just have the discs, so you don't have to worry about it going or being taken off any streaming service or website. I'll take a better group shot later, but this is all of the anime and manga that I have for this haul. Can't wait to start reading and watching some of these, and I'm happy to have them in my collection. I'm starting to weed out some of the books that I've already read and I don't plan to keep, so if you're interested, I do have some of those listed on my Mercari, the link of which is in the description. Out of all of these, I think I am the most excited about Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. I'm going to try to start read that immediately, but I am excited to read everything else. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Okay, I knew this was on the way and I wasn't going to include it, but I just have to because it's so cool. It's so hard with the light, but I've mentioned a couple times that I've been buying copies of childhood shows, cartoon shows that I really enjoyed, just because a lot of the time they're not, at least the US shows. Anime's on the easier side, ironically. Regular cartoon shows in the US are a little harder to find just because the companies don't often prioritize home releases. The classics they do, but some Cartoon Network shows don't have physical releases, or they had very limited runs, like only a couple episodes in a volume or something. So yeah, I've just been buying series that I'm able to find, one of which that I really, really enjoyed, and I feel like not a lot of people remember or at least heard of, is Stormhawks. This is a 3D animated show that aired back in Cartoon Network. I don't know if it aired in any other channel, but I really enjoyed it. I thought the world building in this was really interesting. If you've never heard of this, it's a show about this team of, I forgot the official name, but they're basically a team of not necessarily soldiers, but in this futuristic, slightly dystopian world, all of the quote-unquote human colonies, and there's other fantastical races as well. They all live in colonies that exist on floating land. So to get around in between colonies, people use people use flying motorcycles and other flying contraptions and stuff. There's certain empires, and one of which is considered the villain because they're trying to take over the whole, what they call the Atmos. And the story follows this group of, I think, are teenagers, but basically they just exist to protect colonies and just roam around while searching for different treasures and things like that, like wandering knights and stuff. I found it very entertaining. The comedy was good, sometimes a little cringy, but obviously it's a kid's show, so that's gonna happen. But I always found that despite being 3D and 3D animated shows being kind of iffy back then, this had a really, really cool style, and it really worked. The action was always really cool, and just, again, the world building and the whole idea of this world was really cool. So yes, I bought a copy. I got this off of eBay for like maybe $7, $7 or $8. It must be not very popular because you can definitely find brand new copies for that cheap. Now the condition of this one is a little rough. I didn't know though that it came with a slipcover. I just assumed it was just the DVD wrapped. As you can see, it's brand new. But the reason I wanted to film myself opening this is because I guess this was a release at Sam's Club. I didn't even know Sam's Club at some point sold DVDs, so that's really interesting. And this was originally $16.27, but I guess this came with a magazine, or maybe it was with a magazine. And the disc itself comes with a film cell, which is really cool. You can kind of see Arrow, the main character there. I am going to remove this though, because I don't like it. It's kind of old, so hopefully I can remove it without damaging the cover. Ooh, it's quite sticky. I think I can remove it though without ripping the cover. But yeah, this is cool. Yeah, there's Cartoon Network on there. And here's the disc itself. So this is season 1 collection, Heroes of the Sky. There were a couple releases of individual episodes, like a couple episodes per volume. And then they released season 1 and 2 completed in these box sets. I'm really sad the 3rd season didn't get a release, because that's kind of where stuff starts to pop off. And this series, unfortunately, was not popular enough to continue. It ended on a cliffhanger. Wow, that kind of sucks. It really pulled at the plastic on the case, but not a big deal. I'm really curious about this. But yeah, this ended on a cliffhanger, and it was so frustrating because it was a really good cliffhanger. I really hope the creators at some point are able to revisit the series. That's really cool. The fact that they did this for like an animated kids show, very interesting. Okay, so you get like a trial to the Sports Illustrated for kids. That is funny. And then the inside's pretty normal. Disc 1 and Disc 2. Tales from the Atmos and Hawks Rise Again. And I think each season was only like 13 episodes or something. This series was unique in that, unlike most kids shows back then, instead of 15 minutes, it had full 30-minute episodes, or like 20-something minutes per episode. They obviously have to make room for commercials. Oh, first 10 episodes plus 3 bonus episodes, so 13 overall. Really cool. So I'm happy to have this. This is just a rant. I'm probably not going to include this in my I'm going to keep this in the bag. Yeah, I'm probably not going to include this in the thumbnail, but I do have season 2 on the way as well. So I'm very curious to see, because I bought that one brand new as well. I'm curious to see if that one will have a film cell. But really cool. And for $7, that included shipping. Like, people are really trying to get rid of this. That's a really good deal in my opinion. I'm so excited to add this to my collection of like just kids shows that I own, or animated shows. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video.